Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. My name is Edwin Escoto and I am a computer engineer. I was born and raised in West New York, New Jersey, and I currently live in Los Angeles, California. I work for a company called Northrop Grumman. Northrop Grumman is a engineering company that focuses on solving engineering problems related to space, aeronautics, defense, and cyberspace. But before I talk to you about what it is that I do every single day at work, I kind of want to give you an idea of what my engineering journey was like. You see, because when I graduated high school, I had no idea what it is that I wanted to study. I knew that I wanted to do something related to math and science because math and science is what I was good at. But I didn't know what my career path was going to be like or what careers really look like if I just liked math and science. But after going to college and taking math and science courses and realizing that I had been 2 years in college and haven't picked a major yet, started to think about, well, what is it about math and science that I actually love, truly? Um, what I realized was I loved problem solving, but it wasn't just in math and science. It was also at home. I loved to, pull apart my phone and put it back together. I loved to fix different devices for family members and friends if they needed help with their computer, if they wanted to build a computer, if their printer was broken. I loved working on these devices simply because I love technology and the new technology that was coming out. And so because of that, I realized, well, what I really love to do is I love engineering because I love how all these things are made, and I was intrigued in what it was going to take to build something like a phone or build something like a computer that everyone could use. So I decided, well, I'm going to go to engineering school now that I have all this information, and I'm going to try it out. As I was studying computer engineering, I continued to learn different things and learn about processors and how they used to work and how they work now, and learn how circuit boards are made. And I realized what I loved the concept of motherboards. I loved that a motherboard helped connect all the different parts of a computer so that they could work together. I mean, think about how you're watching this video right now. A motherboard connects together a processor and a graphics processor, which both work together in processing the video that gets sent through your computer and then to your monitor so that you can see it. In order to get that video, you needed to go onto the internet. Well, your keyboard is connected to your motherboard, and so is your mouse. And so you clicked on the web browser, you typed in a website, and when you pressed enter, in less than a second, the website gave you a response. Well, all of that was connected through the motherboard. It sent the information out of an Ethernet cable or through your Wi-Fi connection, and the information came right back to your motherboard, which from then was fed to your processor, and then right back out to your graphics processor to your monitor. That to me is amazing and super cool. And so that's what I wanted to learn more about. And I realized that, well, motherboards are circuit boards, and circuit boards are everywhere. They're not just in the computers that are in your home, but you have circuit boards that help all the different devices work together so that a plane can fly. You have circuit boards that have all different devices together so that you can drive your car, and so that you can get all this information on how much gas you have, and how fast you want your vehicle to go, or how many miles you've had on the vehicle. All these different things and this information that you get out of a vehicle, and the output that you get out of these different devices and vehicles, is all because these circuit boards help all these different devices communicate together. And so in my career path, what I decided to work on was computer chips that were connected to these circuit boards and were able to communicate to all these devices. Well, what I do now is I work on computer chips called FPGAs. And these computer chips essentially help communicate with all different parts of a satellite. And whenever a satellite is on orbit, sometimes it needs to understand the environment around it so that it knows what the gravitational pull is like, to understand what velocity it's going at, and it tries to use its thrusters so that it can change its direction and continue to stay in orbit. A satellite also collects a lot of information to send back to Earth. These chips that I design helps move that information to Earth, but it also helps to make sure that the satellite is moving and it's in its appropriate place and velocity so it can continue to orbit around the Earth. And that to me is super cool because it allows me to use my skills that I've learned from school and skills that I used at work to do something that allows people to communicate on the ground. In order for us to have our internet connections working, in order for us to be able to talk to our families on our phones, we need satellites. We need those to route information, from one side of the country to another, and even having conversations nationwide. We're able to do this because we have satellites. That is essentially how I reached this career path. And if you think about it, I went from not knowing what it is that I wanted to do straight out of high school to working on something as cool as satellites to help us all communicate. And that what I want to teach everyone about that journey is that sometimes you don't necessarily need to know exactly where it is that you're going. What you need to do though is just to follow your passion, follow what it is that you love to do, and keep on working at it. Even at times when it gets very difficult, you want to make sure that you focus on what it is that you love, so that when you eventually come across an opportunity, you've already put in the work and you can take the leap and maybe go into engineering school, or take the leap and take that interview with that company, and get the dream job that you would like. If anybody would love to become a computer engineer or any type of engineering, what I would suggest is ask. Ask as many people as you can. If it's your friends that are in engineering or whatever it is that you decide you want to study, ask your guidance counselors, ask your teachers and professors. They will always try to connect you with someone who can help you out and make the decision and what it is that you want to do in your career path. Nowadays, you can search up so many different YouTube videos and lectures that you can take from schools that are actually free and are just on the internet. And it'll help give you a head start. You don't necessarily need to know exactly where it is that you want to go or where you want to study. You just need to continue to search. Never lose the desire to continue to try and find your passion and what it is that you want to work on, because eventually it'll take time. Some people will get there sooner than others, but eventually you'll get there. You'll find your passion and you'll put your heart and soul into it, and it'll make you feel as fulfilled and as happy as I am right now in my career. Thanks again, everyone, for taking the time to watch this video, and have an awesome day.